So it's 2:39 and call the meeting to order for the Newbury Council on Aging. And if we could just do introductions for those who may be viewing. I'm Chaz Rudich.
I'm Trace Macheras.
Sandy Small.
Maggie Malley.
Judy Ebel.
Evelyn Noyes.
Okay. We can review the minutes for March 18th meeting. And do we have any motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
I'll second it.
I'll second that. I'm not sure I'm actually officially here.
Sure. All right.
I have a question. Who's the person getting the Boston Post cane?
It was Mary Dulles.
Oh, I don't know that name.
Mary, I'm trying to think now. We learned that her grandson works at the school here, Newbury Elementary School. And she was our next recipient after Bill Plant.
Oh, that's right. I
Passed away.
remember Bill Plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was-
Initiation or whatever.
Which was very nice.
Yeah.
And Mary's was also. It was quite successful. I think there were about 50 people.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
of her
nice.
friends, very involved in a number of different activities and still participates in her church's soup kitchen every Monday at 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is the age?
I think she's 97, turning 98.
No, I mean, what is the age that they give it?
She's
Oh, it's just the oldest,
living
oh,
person.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, and it was very, you must have seen the photograph.
Yes.
The Daily News, which was terrific. J.R. Colby did a nice job presenting the cane, had a little bit of history on the cane, how each municipality in the state came to have this wonderful cane. And then Mary, was thrilled, and she proceeded to walk around the room and greet everyone who had come with the cane. And she plans to use the cane. This was the replica. The original is at Town Hall. It's ebony, and ebony from Africa, and gold. And the replica is sterling silver. It's gorgeous. It's both canes are hand engraved. And this one might be gold. I'm not sure, but it was very nice. It really was. And we can talk about that later as far as our event on Wednesday, how we utilize the library community room, which is great. So it's a good dry run. What else have I made notes on? I have not reached out to, I had forgotten all about that, other towns, some of our neighboring towns, regarding various and sundry charitable groups and organizations reaching out and asking if we could put a link on our page of the town website. So I haven't asked. I was thinking to ask Rowley, Newburyport, West Newbury, and all of our close neighbors what they do. This type of thing comes up not infrequently, where one council on aging will put out to a group, have you dealt with this? Whatever the topic. I mean, it's a variety of topics. So I put an asterisk, so I will do that for our next meeting. The introduction to Medicare was successful here. I'll call it a success. We had 6 people, which is not bad for, it was a six, do we do 6 to 8, I think, on April 3rd. And a couple of those folks have already made appointments to see the Shrine Counselor to, review in depth their needs, their options. But it was nice for me to sit through the presentation with Mark Sullivan. He really explained it in an easy to digest way.
You need to hear that about 3 times.
It's so complex, it really is incredibly complicated.
Honestly, yeah.
And the 6 people who came, each of them were at a slightly different point. You know, one person was 70 but still working. You know, I think a couple were not 65 yet. Another was already on Medicare but had questions about Part D. You know, it was just interesting to hear, and it was somewhat informal, you know, sitting around the table, and it was nice. I think it would be something to do again, if maybe twice a year, but at least once a year. The health clinic on March 26th, we had about 12 people for vaccines with our local volunteer pharmacist, Leslie Doyle, and blood pressure clinic with our property tax volunteer, Michelle Washkus, our nurse. NEAT, Northern Essex Elder Transport, is still interested in someone joining their board, but they'll keep looking. I appreciate that it's, you know, we all do what we can. And it, you know, it's a new director of the Northern Essex Elder Transport Program. Ginny Salem, who's also the activities director in Salisbury Council on Aging. So she's really kind of revamping and rebuilding the NEAT program. So I think that opportunity might be around for a while. What was the other thing I wanted to mention? We are still seeking a volunteer monitor for the van. Our van goes out on grocery trips every Tuesday. And we've had some wonderful property tax work-off volunteers who are no longer able to do the little bit of assistance on Tuesdays. We have one whose application I did just process today, so that might be a moot point. So, I don't know where you want to talk about. I'm following the minutes instead of following the agenda. Or we can save this for May. It's the Gordon College Center for Balance, Mobility and Wellness. You know, if we want to think down the road about.
When was that?
It was January probably when you brought up
Yeah, I think it's great to
presenting topics. We're gonna come up with like 4 or 5
wheels
topics.
going, because to get it all together takes a bit
It does take a bit of time. I agree
time
with you.
to get everybody in place. and everything.
Exactly,
So it's
so-
not bad to talk about it.
Okay.
I mean, if we can do it for summer, I don't think summer is a good time to have it, because our attendance, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think it might be difficult to get attendance.
To get attendance in summer? Yes.
What do you guys
It
think?
was
I agree.
nutrition, brain health, balance, fitness. Those are just some of the topics that the board wanted to, you know, do a special presentation. So neuroscience of the brain is Wednesday. And this nice gentleman, I think he's the director of the program, Gordon, Andrew Walker. And I think you probably read this when I sent it out. Thank you so much for reaching out and for thinking of us. We would love to do a presentation on balance for you and your community. I'll start a conversation with Marie Lucy, who's the clinical director, and see what we can come up with. How long would you like the presentation to run? Which month would you folks want us to come and do the presentation? Let us know. So, you know,
Summer is closed, we have May and June left, that we could put something on if we so chose to do that.
I do have the calendar for June. And it doesn't have a great deal of impact, whatever's going on here. If we would like to do this at the library, can make this presentation.
What did they
Wednesday.
actually do? Just so you have an idea.
You went to, didn't you?
I did. They did a presentation at Beverly Hospital. And they brought some of the tools that they use. You know, some folks from the audience went up and worked with the physical therapist who did the presentation. Some of the tools that they might use, some of the ways they might do a little assessment. And then, a little guide for helping to maintain your balance.
The tools, are they tools that are readily available for a person, or are these tools that need to purchase?
I think that you would probably need to purchase.
Do they use the stretching bands?
I think that they use those quite a bit nowadays.
Yeah.
This was quite a number of years ago, but those have become very popular
They
for balance. They also had a ball, I think, with a board, balancing on, the underneath it. It's not easy, yeah. It's really not easy, it's very challenging. And that was interesting for the audience and for the folks who went up. And then after the presentation, I think they invited people to go up and, try some things. So I can call him and get a better idea of, sorry about that. What do you do? What is your general introductory presentation for balance as we age?
I think we need to know that before we plan how long, don't
Right.
you?
Yes.
All right, I'll do that then. I'll call.
What's the
I'll call
length
Andrew.
of time? What does he recommend?
Just get a basic idea of what they do. I was just pleased that they're willing to come
I
out.
think it's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just,
Great.
All right, so I will do that. I will call Andrew.
And I know a few people that go there and take the balance class.
Right. Yeah, it's they have physical therapy, and then I think they have the balance.
Yeah.
Two separate programs.
so if we don't find, we won't be meeting till May, so that wouldn't give us enough time to put it in for June, would it? Or would it?
It would not.
September.
Right. I mean, if we, because this has already been sent to the printer, so we could do an advertisement in the Daily News if we wanted to do it, before the next newsletter, before summer.
Well, it would be great if we had something to hand out Wednesday.
It's possible.
To
You
those,
mean, like, look for future,
right.
that type of thing?
Right, or even if we had a date, that would be good.
Date would be lovely. Or, stay tuned and please join us for these upcoming presentations.
Well, we can't really give a date without talking to them. that's
We
for
can't,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
I can try them this afternoon.
Well, let's see how that phone call goes.
This is very nice.
Hopefully, they wouldn't be longer than half an hour, you don't want people to be.
I think it would be more like an hour.
I was gonna say
Maybe
an
if
hour.
it's
An hour
not-
to-
just
It would be
At the most.
ridiculous.
An hour to an hour and a half, you going over an hour and a half,
Would be
you
too
start to
long.
lose folks.
Exactly, lose interest. people
Unless
lose
it's
interest.
really, really engaging.
Exactly.
So that would include the question and answer and everything.
Yeah.
Right. Do we want to look at, shall I ask about June? As I said, that would be, we would look at.
They might not even be available.
And they might not be available.
So that would be
So
a deal
we'll
breaker.
skip July or August and look toward September. Okay. If they could do June, we would, look to Susan Noyes, doing an email blast and put it
Yep.
on the town's Facebook page and the Daily News. All right, I'll ask them what their availability is and if an
Yeah,
hour
because
or
we
so.
take
what they
positive
would do.
approach, it is something we'd like to do. And we just need more information in order to get it out for advertising.
Wonderful.
Then if they do say something positive, we could mention it Wednesday.
Right.
We have something in the works.
And I'll let you know what dates they
We
can
can do it.
Is this geared toward a particular age group or person? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, no,
If you read it, would you kind of get that it's for?
I think you would. I think you would get it. And, and because it's COA board and Council on Aging hosted, we're charged, our mission is folks 60 and over. But I think you don't necessarily think about balance until you're of a certain age, right? I think we're all on that, Well, and I could be wrong,
You try to keep
depending, of
both feet on
course.
the floor.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, depending on a person's, you know, physiological issues, but I think people will. I think the way that this was worded came out nicely. The flyer for the presentation on Wednesday, which you can certainly have. That we got a number of folks who are unfamiliar to the Council on Aging, and had a real boost after Susan did send out an email blast and post it. You know, a few folks who are aware of, one or two who are familiar to us as being caregivers, who are older themselves, who are caregivers for spouses.
I did, on your list, the in-town people.
I think most are, but there are some who are not.
What's that wrong with it? I was just wondering.
We're right around 50
Targeting a group of.
Wow.
My husband may come. And
Did you say 50?
I think we're right around 50. There, our liaison, unofficial liaison at the Newbury Police Department may or may not be able to come. You know, she generally, we communicate with Officer Fisher on any issues that pop up for folks over 60. So she is interested, if she can.
Now, as far as targeting, so where did the names come from? Where did they read about this?
Well, that's part of what we'll ask them on Wednesday.
Okay.
In a little, I sent out, I think I may have, what the library uses when they have a presentation. It's a very small, short little, I may have done here, a short little postcard type of thing. I'll have to look for it.
Oh, so they can.
About, you know, how did you learn about this program today? It's fairly generic. I mean, they would use it for each of their programs. And then the introduction to Medicare that was hosted by or sponsored by SHINE, the SHINE program through Elder Services in Merrimack Valley. They also have a little survey at the end. How did you hear about us? You know, and that's that question pops up on all the surveys I've seen. How did you learn of this presentation? So we'll find out. Give us a better idea of the email blast or Facebook or.
Yeah.
Again, since a number of these folks are unfamiliar to us.
Are we gonna have any handouts or a table where they can pick up information if they want on the council?
We can do that.
I was wondering if we'd have someone at the door as they come in, you know, here's some stuff. Or maybe table is just as well.
Yeah, because we're gonna have some information about the Friends, and then also if they were able to get us the sign-up forms, or I'm not sure what they're calling them, for the folks who have dementia, to let the Newbury Police Department know,
Okay.
where they
And
can
ask-
include that picture, so.
I'll ask Officer Fisher. And I had called Elder Services to get more green guides. I think they would be interested in those. It's my go-to because
I think
it's
they're
got so
very
much
handy,
information.
those books.
I get to pick them up, wouldn't I? I didn't get a call back, so I'll have to call again.
Yeah, once you get a call back, let me know.
Okay.
I'll-
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you. All right, I'll call them this afternoon too. It's just a nice, I don't know if you're familiar with the Green Guide.
Yeah.
Anybody watching? Wonderful, small little, easy to keep on a kitchen counter book with resources for, you know, a variety of services pertinent to 16 over folks. You name it.
So where do you get the green one?
Hopefully we'll have some to give out on Wednesday. It's produced by, it's in conjunction, Elder Services, the Merrimack Valley, and
Northeast Independent Living.
there you go, thank you. And it's just incredibly handy. Our outreach case manager gives them out when she goes out and meets with somebody, Nice for a family to have. Great resource, I have one right by my phone. So that would be a nice thing to give out, and some fancy material too.
I'm sorry, so there's a free board park in the pickup lane with no adult in it?
To answer the question, because Council on Aging is in the elementary school, we cannot turn off the,
Can they turn it down? It's
cannot turn it
incredibly
down.
loud.
Cannot turn it down.
That's not
And
fun.
it's a safety issue, because we are in the school.
Yeah.
The senior center has got to be able to hear the announcements for safety reasons. If there were to be something that would be awful that we would need to know about. Apparently that was a question years ago when the senior center, when this became the senior center, how do we turn that off? And the answer was you don't. Nor can you turn down the volume, so. I think I've become inured to it. I know when it becomes like white noise. But we're right at that time of the day, so. That would be great. I'll ask the Friends do have some brochures, the Friends of Council on Aging. We have some magnets. I think that the Friends had purchased years ago. Probably see them around. I'll see what else we have. Any kind of volume. Because 50 people is good, or
It's
45 people.
send to any of the councils to let them know we're having this.
We had already gotten to, by the time I had looked, we were close to 45 people. And the room, for fire safety is 50 people. So.
Yeah, I didn't know, because there's always people that don't show.
Right. But it's, it's good information. I mean, if we were, I think we talked about arriving at April 1st and perhaps only having 20 people and then opening it up to our neighbors. But we already had, they're already in the
Excellent.
30s by then, so, and there were a few, there was one who canceled. We had offered rides on the van. And there was one person who had requested a ride, and then she canceled, so it's okay.
I had one canceled today.
Okay. But we may have a couple of other people who might.
Yep.
I think it's wonderful, We thought 6 for introduction to Medicare was good, so. This is
Are you
great.
going to be able to come on Wednesday?
I honestly don't know. I'll have to.
Okay.
Is it, what time is that on?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
At the Newburytown Library.
Library.
For all those folks who like to watch this evening.
And we'll be there.
And it does sound very interesting, and I think,
She is.
just in reaching people, what is it that appeals to people, at what age? It just seemed to hit the right buttons for people.
Yeah.
Normal aging, early Alzheimer's, normal aging, and the neuroscience of brain health. That just seemed to get people.
I know I can't make that. We're leaving that day.
Oh, there you go. But this is something to look at for other years.
Is this going to be taped? Can you tape it?
Yes.
Or?
Yes.
We're taking it. She asked for a copy of it,
Oh, yeah,
and
that
we're
would be good.
also going to have it available so we can put it on the website, or it will be available, Susan said it will be available probably on YouTube,
Right, I think that's how they.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
It is a great idea.
so that people can view it later.
Right.
I mean, we might, I was thinking, have here information, so that
Mhm.
if we wanted to show it here,
Right.
at some point, we could re-show it.
We could have a showing of it here,
Right.
exactly.
Or even loan it out, like
Right.
Blockbusters.
Wow.
They could do that. They might have to do that, but they could just catch it online.
Right, we could
replay
have,
it.
right, they could catch it online, but we could have, we could have coffee and donuts some morning and play the presentation.
How long
for
was the
folks.
presentation? Approx, like
I
an hour?
imagine
It's
an
about-
hour-ish.
It's about half an
Oh,
hour.
okay.
Or more, a little
Okay.
bit more, I think.
It generally
Because
is under an hour.
she has a lot of conversation with you.
Okay.
She has
So she
question and
has
answers.
ample time for question and answer, which is often interesting, as it was with, for example, the introduction to Medicare, learning a new piece by hearing what someone
Yeah.
brought up.
It really brings up a lot of questions in your mind. Just when you hear this, you think, oh, and you know, it's like snowballs,
Right,
the questions,
right.
so.
So it's got value
Yeah.
for the people.
Oh,
so.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I will look into the green guide, getting some paperwork from Officer Fisher for registering a family member who may have dementia. Police have a nice bit of program. So I'll ask her about that and the Friends, paperwork from the Friends. And I think that's all I have. And I will put a call into Gordon Center for Balance.
Thank you, Amy. So you need me, sure, Maggie.
As far as expenses, if we could review that in May, I didn't get the expenses. Each does report, and it's much nicer when it comes from the town. So we can do that in May. I think it would be February, March, April, up to whatever date we meet.
So I had a question. One of the duties I had to do as working for Susan was to go through the website for the town website for Council on Aging and see if anything we could improve upon. I didn't know it, but there's actually a calendar on the website. I was wondering if there was some way we could fill that in with this information. If maybe I could help you. She said she would give me permission to get in there, or because people that don't already have this as a mailing, then new people, they would be able to see it online. I'm just wondering if
That would
there's
be
some way
great.
we could do that. I didn't even know it was there, but because she, part of her,
Right, that's what she does. She's on our list.
she said she could do it, or if, maybe I could do it, or, just to have on there. Or she could, if you prefer to keep control of it.
No, I'm happy to give it.
Or put it under your jurisdiction with Gail, or, because she would show you.
Well, you're very technically savvy, so. I mean, I go in and post the agenda, and then I'll go in and we approve the minutes, so I'll post the minutes. When I put the agenda in for this meeting, I put it on the calendar, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much the extent of what I do.
Yeah.
It can always take more, but if you wanted to do that, I think that, and I don't check it every month, because Susan is on the email recipients list for the newsletter and the calendars. And I think she generally posts them so that you can click on the newsletter.
Yep, she posts.
And get the calendar, you can, but you're saying you could have
But it's a
the
separate
calendar.
place, and there is
It
a
is.
calendar there, so.
It is.
I was just,
But I don't actually, right.
have you guys ever seen it there? I didn't even know it was
Yeah,
there.
I look on
It's
it,
there and you have to
Look
look
at
at
it.
it, you have to look for it.
see what's
yeah.
going on.
Right. But it's something to think about, I'll take a look. As I said, I
Right.
go in and I get out, I do what I need to do. Okay, no, thank you.
And that Channel 9 has very interesting things on it. There's programs running now about Salisbury Beach back in the day and on
Oh, neat.
Island. And very interesting. Wish it had a better sound factor, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
What's that, the
that's
meeting?
terrible.
The Channel 9, yeah. I put my headphones on and I can hear it a little bit better, but snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah, it's
I
not
wonder
good.
how it will be in here today, accepting the announcements. Because there's a fan and a conference that is quite close to the video camera. Which does make you can hear there's just quite a bit of white noise. So I wonder how it will be. I've not watched one, a meeting that we've done in the kitchen. So, we'll see.
And just to follow up, have we done Dee Dee's core yet?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then the next step would be sending an email to the town clerk
Okay.
to get these, one of the selectmen to sponsor you. And then we can vote on bringing Dee Dee in as a full board member in May.
Wonderful. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll reach out to Leslie. Okay. Town clerk. Leslie. A little bit of time. Remember eventually.
And does anybody have anything else?
We were gonna talk about chef,
Oh, like a chef,
pick a
yes.
date.
Um,
You did it last September.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing it in September again, if it's a good time for you guys. I know, they typically take off during the summer, correct?
I have done them in the summer before.
Because I know at one time we did May, and then we also did June. September works good for me.
Great. If you'd love to do it, then we'd
Oh.
love to have you.
All right, sounds good.
Had, pretty consistent crew too,
Mhm.
of guests who've been coming, which is nice. It had kind of ebbed and flowed. It has ebbed on the ebb side for a while, and now it's kind of gone back up, which is great. And we're using the van if people want to ride, which we hadn't done until last year. So a few people take advantage of that, people who never came.
Is that the third Wednesday or the second Wednesday?
It's a bit of a moving event at this point. Because the van goes out on some Wednesday trips.
I see.
It's on a Thursday in May, and it's on a Wednesday in June, so.
What's September date?
I'm sure we don't have a September date yet.
That's June.
Shut then.
If you wanted to choose a day, if you wanted to do a Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, if it falls on that second week of the month, then Wednesday would be better for me. I would
Okay.
not be able to do Thursday.
The second Wednesday in September is the 11th.
That will work for me.
Works for me.
So far, I don't even know.
Right, it feels like 80 years from now, it'll be around the corner. The Council on Aging has had a guest chef luncheon for years, I think it's been years. And, a few volunteers have a month that they like to do. And we have other guest chefs who will just say, do you have anybody this month? I'll do it if you don't. So it's fairly casual. But it's nice. There was, Gail was the chef this month.
Oh, was she?
She was, yeah.
Good for her.
Cold sandwiches, which people loved. Ham salad, chicken salad, tuna salad, potato salad. I can't remember what else she did. Ice cream and pound cake and fudge sauce. And conversation.
Oh, good.
It's all good.
She's
All right,
really
well,
amazing.
She is indeed amazing.
Yes.
So our next meeting will be on May 22nd at 1 o'clock. May, yes, no, May 20th, I'm sorry. May 20th at 1 o'clock.
At 1 o'clock. And I will let you know if the conference room is available to us. It's not always schools, small conference room. This is the period of MCAS testing, so that's why we are in here. But I'll let you know.
Can I make the motion that we close the meeting at 3:14?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.